What's up, everybody? Ashling Cole here. Super excited that you are joining us today. Of course, this is Better Together, and I am here with my bestest friend, along with co-host, Mr. JaCoree Prothro. How are you today?
I'm actually doing really good. I'm kind of tripping out because I didn't realize that the funeral service would still be going on today. So I'm a little all over the place, but God is good.
Yes, definitely. It seems like 2 weeks in a row where we were like, should we do a show? Should we not do a show? There's a lot going on in the world right now, and want to be definitely mindful and not want to take away from the events. You want to honor, you want to honor, and you want to be respectful, and you want to be mindful. But I thought that it'd be a good idea for us to have a conversation today about how this season is affecting our children, our babies. And so I do have some guests here today, but I just want to touch bases with you, JaCoree, and how you see this affecting the kids that you're around, because you've got nieces and nephews and you've got young people around you.
It's really funny because I think we haven't been on this battlefield or battlefront in some time. So a lot of the kids that I'm coming in contact with, they're kind of scared. It's a lot of adults that are scared. It's just like, we've got so many different battles going on at one time to where it's just like, how do you move? Do you go to the left? Do you go to the right? Do you pray? How do we pray? There's so many questions traveling around because, first off, you got to wear the mask. Do you wear the mask? When do we go back to school? What do we do with the graduates that have just graduated?
Right.
They feel like they're stuck, that the world is over. So, it's crazy because it's just like, it's honestly history repeating itself, but it's just been such a wide spectrum in between to where,
sure.
Ooh, Jesus.
Sure. And I just think it's just very different, going into the murder of George Floyd. We were in COVID, the kids were already affected by not being able to go to school, by having to be home and, either homeschooled because their districts didn't have programs set up, or the district was limited by technology and
right.
what, depending on what their budget was and what equipment they had and what they could send home with. So I have an incredible special guest today. She is an educator. She was, I believe, 29 years. Because she's not that old. 29 years in education. And she is like my dear sister and friend. Her name is Valarie Humphrey. And I definitely want to invite her into the room. Hey, sis.
What's happening, y'all? Hey.
Hi. So good to have you on today. It's interesting. We were going to do something similar to this last week, and things shifted and moved and changed. And I just so appreciate your flexibility and your willingness to go with the flow. And then today's show presented itself. And I was like, there's nobody better than Valarie to have on today to talk about how this season is affecting our children. First of all, tell our listeners who you are, what you do, what you represent.
So let's see. Short story. The shortest story. So my government name is Valarie Humphrey. Everybody calls me Auntie Val. I've been in education this is my 30th year now, because I realized I retired last June from traditional education, and now I work with Dr. Eric Thomas as his Director of Educational Affairs. And it has spent me in a whirlwind. So what got me where I am today is the fact that I'm a flunk out that made it to the front office of a school. So I flunked out of college, and then I ended up being a principal. So my journey has a lot to it. At the same time, I became a guru at connecting with students. So when I retired, I started traveling the country speaking to educators. So I help educators connect with students that don't look like them. And to some, they go straight to the skin tone, but that could be all types of gap. You can have a cultural gap, you can have a generational gap, you can have a socioeconomic gap. It's all kind of gaps, but whatever your pain points are, that's what I help you with. So now I work side by side with Dr. Eric Thomas on his educational journey to transform this educational system and it's almost getting back to the basics of getting to know your children in your classroom and not just teaching them curriculum.
Right. That's such a good point. And sorry, and my apologies. This is JaCoree Prothro. I'm not sure that you have officially met.
That is your bestest friend. I know I hear about him so much. I've never met you, but hey.
How you doing?
Well,
yes, songbird. He's a songbird.
Oh, yes, he is, honey. Yes, yes. So let's just talk a little bit about how first of all, COVID happened and it took the kids out of school, right? So then the kids can't go to school. They want to further their education. One of my personal students, vocal students, just graduated from from middle school. And she's like, I'm excited and yet I'm really sad because they're doing drive-by graduations and it's really interesting. How was the stress of that affecting the kids? And I know that you also work with the teachers, but specifically, how is that affecting the kids, the stress of COVID, just to begin with?
So initially, it's kind of like a snow day. You all excited about snow days until you realize at the end of the year, we got to go 2 more days. Yeah, those 2 snow days you had out. Yeah. So in the beginning, it was like, oh, we out. Yes. Wait, I don't get to see my friends anymore. I don't get to see the teacher anymore. I don't get to go to my locker. I don't get to go to the cafeteria. I mean, it was like all of those. So the excitement was there in the beginning, but then when the truth hit, they stressed out. And then it became, wait, I'm graduating this year. So what about prom? What about graduation? What about all of this? Then it became, what about? And it wasn't just those kids missing their friends. It was missing some true milestones in their lives.
Right.
So, because a lot of them, so out here where I'm in the Chicagoland area, and the thing is, prom out here is in April. Prom out here is at the end of March. So they had their dresses. They were ready. They were ready. So it wasn't like, whoa, glad I didn't buy my dress. It was, I got my dress. Like, what do we do now? So it became a struggle. So what we see now, so I still work with the kids so what Dr. Eric Thomas is doing right now, we are hosting a summer school program for middle schoolers. So the excitement of actually engaging with 100 other students, they feel it's like a breath of fresh air. But there's a difference between being on summer break and being on a forced break.
Come on, force.
It's like voluntold.
Right.
So they're at home and it's like, oh, I gotta go to school. But wait a minute, mom stays here, all of your siblings in the house. Wait, mom and dad trying to teach me? You don't know. I know the math better than you. This new math.
Yeah.
So it's just all of that. And as an adult, we problem solve a little better because it's like, okay, problems come, they go. Let's go. In this season, we know it's a season, but when you're teaching a kid, they're just getting used to winter, spring, summer, fall, and life. Now we're talking about the seasons of life. That's a lot different.
Yes.
And the adjustment is just wild. And then all of the things happening, then you started, just when you got to, wait, we can go back outside June 12th. Oh, this is great. Then they start riding.
Right.
And it was like, so for kids will follow your lead even when they don't understand.
Sure.
So, and that's one of the things for us. I mean, they follow the leader, regardless of the direction that the leader is going in. Yeah, so we're just trying to keep it up tempo and upbeat, but also prepare them with the mindset of come home. So if you get stopped by the police, get home. Your objective is to get home safe.
Right.
Not in a body bag. So, and our summer school program, we have 100 kids, but 65% are males and predominantly African-American males.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay.
So what Dr. Eric Thomas is going to do is he's going to have a town hall meeting with the kids and just talk to them about it and understand the fight is not always with their fist. And I think a lot of times, the kids, when they get angry, they punch, they swing. When someone talks bad about you, you walk up to them and punch them in the face. What do you know? So somewhere on this journey, we've been taught that anger means swing.
Ooh, come on, swing.
Yeah.
And we can't.
Yeah.
We need to reverse that.
And then after
Anger
the
means,
swing, they're still not able to talk about it. There's no
Right.
release. And the thing is, that thing stays bottled in. It's just gonna fester to the next person, or when you cut off on the freeway, or the next issue. Everybody gonna get it.
Yeah.
Well, there might be release, but there's no resolve.
Exactly.
So you might have that instant emotional explosion to release those feelings, but where's the resolve? And here's the thing: if you're angry about something legitimately, like so many of us right now in this season are, we are expressing ourselves, and then there's consequences to our expression. So it's like, yeah, legitimately, I'm angry. Legitimately, I want change. I want to get out there. Enough is enough. So I'm going to go out, let my voice be heard. And then I get hurt, or somebody else gets hurt, or, it's like there's it's just, it's wonderful. And it's a mess at the same time. Right.
Wonderful.
And we talked about, like, I appreciate Eric Thomas for stepping up in a leadership role even more than he already was, because he's, number one motivational speaker in the world. Incredible pastor, all of those things. And then he's taking it to the next level. He's one of those people that's never going to be just settled at a level. He's going to go next level. So I just love that he has really taken his focus on and put it on the kids right now.
It's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey. And one of the things we try to teach the children, I'm retired, but when I was literally in the schools, I would teach the kids. So, okay, you fought her. You didn't like her Monday. You fought her Tuesday. So you like her today? And they're like, what? Now I like her. So what did the fight solve?
Right.
That's what I want you to understand. So if it's not about, like you said, there's no resolve. It's not about the resolution.
Yeah.
And I start teaching kids early. The more problems you solve, the more money you make.
Come on.
The more problems you create,
that's good.
The less money you make.
That's good.
Put that on a t-shirt. Put that on a t-shirt.
It probably already is. Knowing Val, she's already got it on a t-shirt.
Right. So when you really say more money, more problems, it's the soft part of that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's really good. Are you specifically talking about George Floyd in your summer program? Is that acknowledged? Does it go without saying? How are you all acknowledging that with the kids?
So E is going to lead the charge. He's going to sit. We talked about it behind the scenes, like, okay, what does that look like? So E, that's what we're doing a town hall meeting. So he's going to do it this week. He, he had to deal with his feelings about it. And then each one of us. So for me, my struggle, my brothers are police officers. Yeah, my brothers, my uncle, we have a family. So in my family, we have teachers and police officers. So last week for our professional development, we put the chalk down. And we didn't talk about regular school things. We just talked about, how do you teach in a time such as this? How do you? So if you were in your classroom, it's almost kind of like catch-22. Okay, COVID happened. We're not in school, but yet it's still happening. So how would you go into your classroom? Because if you teach in an urban neighborhood, how would you address that? Yeah. How would you deal with the kids when you have a diverse population of your students? How would you deal with that? So teachers were crying on the call from just confusion. Like, I want to help, but I don't want to seem like I have all the answers. And we had teachers that literally said, like, I tried to help before, and they looked at me and said, you don't understand, you're white.
Ooh.
Right. So what do you really say? I do understand, so it's like, you really don't, because you haven't walked them out. You can walk on the same street as me, but if you're not in my skin, your experience is different from walking this mile.
Right.
So we talked about that. We just
That's
were very transparent. A lot of teachers were like, they gave each other advice. We just like literally tears. 40 teachers in tears on a call last week. It was really, really dynamic. And some of them said, thank you, because I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
And I'm still teaching my kids virtually.
Right.
So we just want to be strategic about it and kind of, bring it down. And one of the opportunities not struggles, opportunities that educators have is that when you speak on things in the classroom, it may or may not go against what the parents believe.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you stay away from politics and church, and religion.
Right.
So,
Right.
you're like, how do I bring this up?
Exactly. It has to be talked about, but it's like how to go about talking about it. Right. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Exactly. Well, yes, absolutely. I'm gonna bring up another guest. This is somebody very special to me.
Yes, me too.
And I'll tell you why in a second. But this is activist Alanna Cole.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
So Valarie, this is actually my daughter.
Hello,
my
beautiful.
22-year-old daughter.
Hey.
And I brought her on here. I thought it was really important for her to share her story. And I think we probably have to be anonymous about, I'm not really sure, Alana. I'm going to let you take the lead on it. If you want to just tell what's going on with you, for her, she's in a community that's not very diverse and at a workplace that is definitely not diverse. Yeah. And she's like finding her voice as a young person in this season. And so Alana, just talk to us about what your experience has been like lately.
My experience has been kind of I don't know, it's like extremely positive, everything that's going on right now, because I see so many people in my age range that are banding together and trying to problem solve, and this is like I'm really proud to be a part of this generation that really wants to make huge change in the world. But then on the other hand, it's like really frustrating because there's so many obstacles. And I feel just where I'm at, I'm one of 5 Black people in my workplace. And so I, wear Black Lives Matter on my mask, and then there's consequences for that. And I have to speak to managers and, understand or explain my positioning, because a lot of people just don't understand what this is and what it means. And that it's not a political movement. It's, a lifestyle. And that has nothing to do with politics. It has to do with my life and my body and my melanin and, all those things. So it's like a fine line between trying to raise awareness, but not falling into a stereotype of an angry Black woman.
Wow.
And trying not to be super emotional and trying to be more strategic. So it's a lot of it's just really a complex situation that I'm in at this moment. So
that's crazy, because it sounds like your workplace is a place to where it's just like, oh, I want to peel the potato. Don't come in the way you are. Let me peel your skin off.
Right.
Woo, Jesus, we got
Right. I told, and I had to respectfully decline to take off my Black Lives Matter mask, because I said, morally, I can't take this mask off in the same way that I can't take my skin off. This is not a movement. This is my life.
Come on.
And
meaning I can't separate from it.
I can't separate from it. And this may just be a physical mask, but this is even before the pandemic, when masks were mandated, I was living in this skin. I've been existing in this body for 2 decades.
Right.
So this is my experience on a daily basis. And whatever people feel uncomfortable about seeing Black Lives Matter in my workplace, imagine how uncomfortable I feel on a daily basis, having to, think where I'm about to walk. If I see a police officer, I get nervous. If I'm in a mostly, white area, I get nervous. That's my existence at all times. So it's like, I'm really trying to educate people about what it is to be in this skin. And also, having a white mother and a Black father, like I can see both sides.
Come on.
I can see both arguments. And it's just, it's really just interesting.
Yeah. And something that you said that you and I talked about offline was that you've never heard anybody say, oh, she's just being an angry white woman.
Never.
Never.
It don't even flow. It doesn't flow.
because it's not a label. There's no stereotype. There has not been a stereotype created for that. We get mad, but it's not looked at as negative. If I walk into a place and I have an issue with somebody, then they'll just be like, oh, okay, here we go. Maybe we better get in compliance.
Right.
But that's a conversation within itself.
Definitely.
It's really a conversation, because my thing is, black is a beautiful color, just like clear and red. But why does it have such a stigma to it?
A negative,
Right.
yeah.
It's just black, just like it's just white. You know?
Right.
It's
Right.
crazy.
Why does somebody have to be blacklisted? Why do you know what I mean? Why does it like there's so many things? I mean, it's just hundreds and hundreds of years of just, negativity. And I think that now we have reached the pinnacle. We have reached the boiling point. And I think that the change, the shift, sure, we're gonna do our part in our generation, but I'm telling you, the change is coming from the young people. The shift is coming from the young people, and I've seen on Instagram, Lana, you and I were talking about this. She probably was maybe 14 or 15, Caucasian young lady, and talking to her parents, and she didn't show her parents, but she was arguing with her parents, who were making racial slurs about people that that were protesting or rioting. The thugs that are rioting was their language. And it's like, she was fighting against her parents. So like, I'm so proud of the young people. I'm so proud of you, daughter, just, because I mean, look, you're so educated and wonderful and like beautiful. And you've taken this thing on totally by yourself. It was not prompted by me or anybody else. It was like, you saw an injustice and you took action. What are some of the things that you can tell young people in your generation that they can do to make a difference?
I think honestly, the most important thing is getting informed about history so that it doesn't repeat itself. There's so much access to documentaries at this point about racial injustices that have happened, not even that long ago. It's like, it's crazy that, Emmett Till was killed in 1955. And it's like, that's not even that long ago.
Not that long ago.
It's not even that long ago that, places were segregated with white and colored entrances. So just make sure that you're learning all the information. You're learning all the facts. Watch things like The Story of Us with Morgan Freeman and 13th about, the prison system needing to be reformed. That's and you know what I'm saying? Just stay up on that knowledge so that you are not blind to what is actually going on. Because a lot of people, they feel very emotional about this, but they don't know why they're feeling emotional. They need to know the facts that are associated with it so that we're not going to go back in time, because that's not an option right now. We can only progress. We can only move forward. And I feel like with this generation, with the generation that I'm in, like, there is really a fire, and we're like, enough is enough.
Yes.
It's going to be the last generation that y'all trying to oppress. So
absolutely.
I'm really excited.
That's good.
And I feel a big responsibility. I mean, as a Black woman in this country, like, sure, I'm mixed, but I'm Black, And
come on, black, no trade back.
Jesus.
Well, since we're actually in this vein, I wanted to actually bring one of my nieces on, because I got a lot of nieces. So can we bring my niece Jayla on? She's 14.
Yes.
What's up, niecey? Can you hear me, boo?
Hi.
Oh, she over there looking like Aaliyah. I just had a couple of questions for her because I wanted to cover kind of all the spectrums. Can you hear me?
Aww.
Yes, no.
Oh, did we lose her?
She frozen.
Come back.
Maybe she wants to watch that tonight, huh?
Wow.
Oh wow. Okay, well,
shot, though. The shot is cute.
I know it really is. Okay, so we'll come. She's coming back here. Hi.
Can you hear me now?
Hi. Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions with all this going on. I know you've seen all of the struggles and things on TV. We got COVID-19. You're out of school. How are you actually feeling?
I don't really know. To be honest.
I feel that.
Speak your truth.
It's different because, like, having we have grown up with it, but like we haven't. because like we've been like separated from all this.
Wow.
But I don't really know.
That's good. That's good. So, I mean, how are you feeling about being out of school right now and not knowing when you're going back or what's going to take place next?
It's kind of weird because like usually I'm used to just going to school every year at a certain time, but then with this it's like very different, and like you don't know what's going on, and it's kind of scary because like you don't want to get like all like sick and all this and all that. You know?
So just trying to be safe and protected.
Yeah.
That's good. And my last question for you is, have you seen the footage of Floyd being basically stood upon? Have you
I
seen it on
haven't
the
seen
news?
all of it, but I have seen it on the news.
And how do you feel about that?
I don't think that it's okay. I feel like a lot of these people have been just assuming things, but like not all of them are true. What people think, you know?
No, I got you.
I love it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm glad that you shared about that, and I'm glad that you feel comfortable talking about, you know, that it's okay. You know what I mean? That you're communicating. I don't know how I feel. This is a weird time. This is like nothing like I've ever seen before, and it's very strange. So I know that, you know, you've got Uncle here to talk to, and you know your family to talk to. So I just want you to be supported through this time. You know.
And I think that's a good time for family to come together and teach each other.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't just be the old teaching the new. It's got to go both ways. We got to rebake this cake and put a good frosting
That's
on
right.
it so we can yield a good return.
Yes.
You know, I'm a
yes.
metaphor man, so it just be like,
I know it. That's why you and my mama get along so well.
Oh Lord, that's right.
I love it.
That's right.
uh-oh, I
So
lost my earphones.
we are down to our last couple minutes. This show was always meant to start the conversation. And so I want to give each of you an opportunity to just, you know, say anything that you want to give our listeners in, you know, what your intentions are going forward in this season, what you would encourage other people to do in this season. Jayla, do you wanna go first?
Sure. I just think that we should all stick together through this time.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's good. I love that.
And Miss Alana, what you got?
Yep.
I just want to remind everybody to take care of their mental health during this time. I know that I'm really struggling with, you know, with the media and everything. Everything is like a constant tornado of seeing people getting killed and pepper sprayed and you know, assaulted and all the rest of it. And I struggle a lot with judging myself for like when I do take a break, I'm like, well, there's people, you know, who have had their family members killed because of this, and there's people that don't ever get a break. So why am I allowing myself to have a break too? You know, like I want to fight just as bad as they do. And so I just want to remind everybody that you can't water plants with no water. You have to refill and make sure that you're whole in yourself so that you can pour into other people.
I'll drink to that.
Yes.
So
that's
I think
good.
that is really, really important right now.
That's good. Thank you. I appreciate you. And Val, what you got for us?
So for me, in this season, I say refocus and grow, because if we don't focus on the right thing, then we'll start chasing the wrong thing.
Oh, that's
so
good.
We have to focus and grow. What I mean by that, like, don't focus on what you can't do, focus on what you can do. You know, in this season, I'm not traveling as much, so I get to watch documentaries, so I'm growing. And partnering with Dr. Eric Thomas, we're having the Teachers Conference coming up, Extreme Teachers Conference. That's coming up at the end of July. It's virtual. You're at home. There are all kind of free conferences going on right now. So grow in your season. I get up every morning and I walk. I do walking PDs for educators. So I get out and I walk, I read something, and I talk to educators. So I'm not going, oh, we can't go nowhere. No, you can. How can you do it? You just figure out it's new rules. That's all.
That's good.
You want to be safe in this season. So refocus in this season and grow. You know, and with extreme teachers, that's what we're talking to the teachers. How are you going to start school next year? Yes, we're worried. Are you going to have plastic, you know, around every kid?
Right.
It's not possible. You know, what are you going to do? So that's in this season. We really want them to know that you can do some things. It's just your focus and just know you want to teach your kids to get home safe.
Amen.
Yes.
Get home safe. Regardless if it's a police or a community member that approaches you, get home safe. Because to them, a lot they so far removed from things. They figure, oh, that's happening way over there. You know, it's so far removed until the rioting happened in every city. And it was like, wait a minute, why are they rioting? Like they don't really get all of that, and it's not personal to them.
Yeah.
It's that not I syndrome. Oh, not I. It's not gonna happen to them until it happens to them. So yeah, we refocus and grow. We all can do it.
I love it. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. I love it. I love it. Well, I wore my I will stand up for you t-shirt today. If you can see that. That is representing the Alphabet Rockers. It is my best. I have a bestest friend and I have a best friend, and my best friend's birthday is today. And so we're celebrating her birthday today. But I want to say thank you to all of my guests, all of our guests, rather. Yes, Valarie Humphrey. Go ahead and follow her. Incredible educator. She's always putting positive posts out there. Definitely want to follow her. Alana is also not only an activist, but an incredible chef. And you can follow her at Lana's Vegan Life on Instagram. And Jayla, we just gonna love on you. We just gonna love on you. You can call me Auntie Ash now. You got a new auntie now.
Let's go.
So I appreciate all of you. That's our show. And let's continue the conversation and just be encouraged, you guys. If you hear something or see something that's not right, do something. Say something. The time to be silent is done. The season of silence is done. No more silence. Please speak up, say something, do something. Because if you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything.
That's good.
So let's keep it going, y'all. Better together. Love you. We'll see you next time.
Hey.
Thank you.
Hey.
Hey.